Hey everybody, One of Wisdom here, Wednesday, July 2nd, 2014, 3:49 a.m. We have got an interesting situation here with Windup. We just did his base upgrades. In that, his tertiary attack is Spring Shot. I came out just to see what it did. It's 28 to 42, but this guy right here somehow has been locked into a perpetual state of being launched. That basically means he's going to take critical damage every time. As you can see there, 42, 53, 38. So, needless to say, that is super convenient for us. As you know, at this point in time, I kind of have the numbers down. But in the event that we get one of those freak numbers we don't see too often, instead of me having to like sit here and wait for it to do the math in my head, we can just stroll over to that guy, which is kind of, like I said, super convenient. So, we're gonna hop in here. Kind of covered these two at the end. There's the Toybox Path. As you can see, gain toy-based attack that help keep enemies off their feet. Now, if that's true, I don't know how they mean that. I don't think that launches them. I was going to say if that helped that and you did critical, that might change things completely. That said, the symbols, if they do great damage, that's awesome. They just don't appeal to me. If I just had one wind-up, now the suction gun does, that's the toy gun, that last one, that actually looks pretty cool. It's just, I don't know, the symbols, you know, not my cup of tea. I'm familiar with them from being a kid and seeing the antique toys, yada yada. That said, this is awesome. This is kind of something else I grew up with. There's always like that little, you know, gun that you like pull. No one really had one. You just like always saw them and you never, you know, bought one. But it was kind of like that little fence and it extends and it had like the gloved hand on the end like you saw in cartoons and it would punch people. So in essence, I'm sitting at a desk right now. You could be like 3 feet away from me. I can, you know, execute that move with a gun, and then just this little, you know, fence-capade thing happens and then you get punched. So I don't know, that just, to me, it's kind of, it beats the symbols, you know. Not knowing damage numbers or charge times or good or bad, just going by aesthetics alone, I think Wind-Up kind of seems cool with the, you know, boxing gloves. So that's what I'm going to do. I do think the Winder path may take a little bit more getting used to, a little bit more strategy, maybe a higher skill level to be successful with than the Toybox path. But we're going to take it and find out. Winder. Increase crank power to gain new wind-up attacks. Let's go ahead and grab that. Alright, so coming over here, we begin with Wind-Up Punch. Bear in mind, all my price is reflected of the 18 wing sapphires. 1088 is the price. Hold Y to charge a boxing glove punch. Release to deliver a massive punch to enemies. That sounds pretty awesome. Let's just take these one at a time. We'll try to race here as quick as we can. Come over here. Let's just, I'm going to skip Mr. Critical and we'll come over here so we're not disappointed or anything. So, right now we're doing 25. Let me get back to my spreadsheet so I can type this really quick. What we're doing right now, thanks to Wind-Up, or I'm sorry, the power pistons, I guess, would be 25 to 38. I did document that. So let's make sure he's still in critical mode, and he is, which is awesome. So we're going to just instant critical mode. Now, question is, how long do we have to hold Y, and what is the result going to be? So,
that grinds my gears.
I'm assuming that means he's ready. Kind of went like jolted. Oh, wow. That is nuts. If 120 wasn't critical, that's going to be ridiculous. Now let's try. I'm thinking it's that jolt, but I'm going to just kind of Mississippi. Wow. So it's not the jolt. That's just something he does naturally. So I'm literally just going to press Y and then one Mississippi. It's kind of hard to explain, but you know the part of his hand that looks like the food processor fan blade, if you will. The one right, well, I can't turn this character. He's a very difficult character to turn. Alright, actually both of his hands are like that, so never mind. But anyway, if you watch the one closest to us, the right one I guess I'm thinking, it will like rotate full circle, and I think that's when you can do it. So one Mississippi, right there. I mean, that's awesome. Let's come over here. Actually, let's hit while we're not 180? Kidding me. That would be the critical number.
Spin it to win it.
At 120, it would be 360. Half would be 180. Half would be 60. 120, 60, 180. So let's just press this. It should be an instant 180. Oh, I'm sorry. And we'll punch a sheep instead. Hugo would be 180. That is nuts. That is totally nuts. Sheep 120 to 180, and that is the first one. And there's really not a charge time there. I'm gonna put like 1.5 seconds, which is nothing. I mean, that's pretty cool. It looks really. Let's see what the range is too while we're here. We know it's ready to go. I think he's locked on the sheep. He's tracing the sheep. Okay, maybe not. So it's not good enough to get to that dummy. But I mean, that's a decent range. And the thing is, it's cool he can actually move while he is doing these things. Pretty impressive stuff. So next up down the Winder Path, that's a great opening act, I'll tell you. We've got auto wind up for 1408. Taking damage automatically adds to winding up. Sadly, I can't really showcase this. Wind up, that's of course his secondary attack. So if we were to come out here, we're charging up our little epic punch with the boxing glove. We do 180, but we take some damage. As you saw, that meter above my head, as we take damage, that's going to fill up, and then obviously, when it's full, we can do crazy stuff like that. Plus, and he blows it. But, you know, if I stop that, I can press Y and just do 45 instantaneously. Auto wind up, taking damage, fills meter. I think that'll make sense to you. So that's kind of like a moot point, you know, nothing really cool, special, or to appreciate here, but I think in story mode and PvP that will be very much appreciated. Now, last one down the Winder Path is Power Crank for 1920. Press A rapidly to begin overcranking, which now pulls enemies in and deals bonus damage. So this should be interesting circumstance we've got going on. Again, perk to pulling the enemies in, you know, you can eradicate the chompies, things like that, set them up for the damage that's going to ensue. However, it's a tough enemy that can survive, you know, the 20 or 30s that you're going to be dishing out. Might be a bad thing because then you're going to have to recharge. That said, he's recharging way faster now than he did with just box stock stuff, so that is a perk. Alright, so we're just going to, I guess, press A and see. So 35, is that what he was at? Yeah, 35 to 52.
Spin it to win it.
36. So, 36. He was doing on wind up 20 to 30, so nothing huge. 20 became 24, 30 became 36, plus 4, plus 6, if you will. Now, the good thing is, if you've got somebody that's in a perpetual state of being launched like this guy, you're going to do 53 to him every time, and then 36 every time. And then when you blow up at the end, it's 45. Now that's something interesting because you really do blow up automatically. That's not me pressing on. Something else you can do is that, however, it doesn't seem to increase the damage in that regard. So, the self-explosion, I guess, on winding weapon. No. Overcrank stabilizer. Is just going to stay the same there. So, final thing we can do is his soul gem down the Winder Path. It's going to be spring loaded crank. Price $25.60. Speed is increased. Automatically wind up while running. Now, remember I said his speed was 43. He seems faster than that. When he's wound up, he seems deathly slow when he is not. This hat has absolutely no bearing on speed, and he got a plus 15. So that's pretty awesome. Let's go ahead. Plus 15 speed. 43 to 58. That's a. Oh my gosh. Swear Microsoft. Speed plus 15. That's what I have to do. And if you have small numbers, then it like changes them to dates. That's what I was thinking of. So, X, put that last syllable. So save the spreadsheet. God forbid Windows would shut down on us or something, which it's prone to doing. Is he noticeably faster? Yes. Now the question is, if we go ahead and wind up with him and let him wind all the way down, it's been longer than 6 seconds. Well, the thing is, the flip side of this, while you run, you fill up. So now, it's taken away his greatest weakness, which right there he was slow. Now, as you evade your enemies, like literally as soon as your damage quits happening right here, you're going to abort, get away, and look how quickly he refills. So the soul gem for him, it's nothing flashy, it's not going to do increased damage or anything like that. The speed is huge, as you know, but the thing that's bigger is he's kind of lost that disadvantage because he fills up in what, like 2.5, 3 seconds. So all in all, the winder path is pretty impressive. Power crank, we kind of need to see the enemies to actually drag them in, which I'm not going to do now because I'm hoping when I pull this guy and put the other wind up on, that top dummy stays in critical mode and we can just assess Toybox easily that way. But power crank, it'll pull the enemies in 24 to 36. Auto wind up, say that we don't kill all those enemies, maybe got in a few greebles, we killed 2 of the 4, there's 2 left. As they hit us and deal damage, and we run away, we're now with the soul gem refilling, able to wind up again. But as they hit us while we're fleeing from them, we're actually going to have the meter charge up even faster. So the meter down this path, if you're taking damage and running, it's going to be like an instant refill. It's almost like you've eliminated that completely as a concern of wind up. And really the only thing that has like a solid big increase on this thing is the wind up punch, and that thing does 120 to 180. Beautiful thing about that, it takes about a second to charge, and it looks awesome. Again, you know, I grew up with stuff like that. I think it's pretty cool. So all in all, winder path, very nice. I do, just looking at Toybox Path, I haven't taken it yet, obviously. I'm recording winder first because this is like my story mode guy. The Toybox Path will go to the still packaged single pack wind up. So I do think winder might be dangerous for beginners. Obviously, if you like wind up and you plan to play him a lot and spend time with him, you can master it and it's probably going to be super good. That said, Toybox, I don't know the damage it's going to do, but there's like nothing crazy. None of this, you know, like pulling enemies in with you and taking damage to get it filled up faster. So it's the more conventional path, no doubt. But that said, will the symbols do crazy damage? Will the toy gun have epic range? I don't know, but we're going to find out, and then we can kind of make our ultimate comparison. If you're curious about what my ultimate comparison's results are going to be, take that link at the top of the video description box. You will be taken to a post dedicated to wind up. There you will see damage numbers for each and every one of his attacks. I will also give my synopsis on both and an official recommendation, maybe for advanced players and of course for beginners there. So be sure to check that out. As always, thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. That will keep you up with all the latest. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Once again, thanks for watching, and we will catch you back here as we check out Wind Up's Toybox Path.